Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Tilray Brands, ticker symbol TLRY. And so here I am recording this on the evening of Thursday, October 3rd, after Tilray closed at a price of $1.70, being up a little over 1% on the day. And so in this video, I am really just going to be doing a continuation of the, documentation of looking into unusual whales for a specific contract that I am interested in, and, just the options in general, and just kind of following the chart as we head into earnings, which I believe will be next week on the 10th. I'm not exactly sure which day that is, but if today's the 3rd, I imagine that's Wednesday or yeah, I think it would be Wednesday. So earnings will be then. And let's see. I'm not working on Wednesday, so maybe I can stream the earnings call. I do believe it's going to be during, let's see. It's going to be Thursday, so 7 days. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Thursday pre-market. And I'm not working Thursday next week, so maybe I can stream it if you guys are interested. I really just wanted to be going over the chart and the unusual whales options data. But anyways, enough rambling there. I have gone over all of these levels in the previous videos. And so really all I have to say about today's price action, just looking at the daily time frame, not going to dive into the nitty gritty, is in the morning, I was feeling pretty excited. I was feeling pretty good about this. We did hit a high of $1.77. I was feeling very confident about my assessment of this, but then we did pull back and closed at $1.70, which is up 2 pennies from yesterday's close and the previous day's close at $1.68. So I think that's looking pretty good, even though it would have been nice if we closed up here. So this does suggest that there was selling as price moved higher. But we still closed above this purple dashed trend line, as well as, we haven't even tested the solid trend line. So I still think it's looking pretty good, and we did close higher than yesterday's high. So, I think that's good as well. And also, I guess, before zooming out, if we do look at the MACD, that is still negative as it was negative yesterday, but it's not super negative. And if we do look at this, we could see in the histogram, I can't point to it, but, it's going to be listed over here, just where the cursor is, though that number will change. And so a few days ago, so on Tuesday, October 1st, let's see, the histogram was at 0.0015. And then yesterday it was at negative 0.00087. And today it's at negative 0.00084. So it's slightly less negative than yesterday. So I feel like, while it is negative, it could be a very subtle dip into the negative when we go back into the green and start to see a rally. Also, looking at the RSI, we were flat effectively between Tuesday and Wednesday, being at 43.19 and then 43.19 exactly. It's kind of odd, flat across those days. But then today we did go up to 45.58. So maybe that is suggesting, while still in the lower half of the range, from 0 to 100, being below 50, I think that there's a lot of upside potential. So I think that this still looks good. There's nothing that has really invalidated anything. But it just kind of sucks that we got this big move up and we couldn't hold it. So we did get rejected. But that's just how it is. But anyways, I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter, just because I'm tired after, working the past couple of days. But yeah, so I'm just going to come over here to unusual whales. Here, looking at the overview for Tilray Brands, ticker symbol TLRY, which closed at $1.70. I had updated this already, so this is showing October 3rd. And just to note again that earnings are expected on the 10th pre-market, which is, as I confirmed looking at my phone, Thursday next week. Sorry, it's Thursday next week. And it's possible I can stream that if you guys are interested. So let me know in the comments if you want me to stream that. But anyways, looking into this chart this is the options volume, call input volume, and this is for one day, so just today, and these are 5-minute candles. And so what we can see, and I should note too that this time on the bottom here is Central Time. I am located in the Midwest, so that's why it's reading like that. What we can see for today though, we did get a total volume traded today of 118,000 contracts, which is a total premium of $1.7 million. And of that, we saw a net increase in premium of over $1 million. So I think this is looking pretty good. And, also, with this being a pretty cheap stock per share, the premium for these contracts it's pretty cheap. So I think that this is looking pretty good. There's also something behind me I just noticed that I'm pretty excited about. I'll scroll up and show you in just a second. But looking at this, so for the put volume for the day, very little red, as you can see, a lot of green there. And actually Ed is blocking a little bit, so I might make him get out of the way there for just a second. But yeah, the put volume is 4,175 contracts traded today, which represents a premium of less than $100,000, whereas the call volume was 114,000 contracts versus this 4,000 over here. And the premium is 1.64 million versus the less than 100,000 over here. So this seems like, very, very bullish in my view. And, that could just be because we saw this rally here. So actually, if I do flip over to the chart, maybe I want to switch this over to the 10-minute time frame so we can see how the price action here. So this on this chart, let's see, this is East Coast time, but here, when it really starts to move, that's around 11 a.m. Eastern when it really starts to go up, 11:30 here. So that's going to translate to 10:30 here. So really, we saw a spike in volume before 10 a.m. Central. Wait a second. I need to. So this is 8:30 is open here. So this is an hour earlier. So over here, 9:30. So an hour earlier. So we're seeing spikes in call contracts before 10 a.m., which would translate to 11 a.m. East Coast time, which is, right here. So we're seeing spikes in those contracts before the price moves up. Then we see a pullback here, so like topping out around noon East Coast time, which would then be 11 Central, which, let's see, is right around here. So we see a top there, a lull in the call contracts. And then we see another spike here in the contracts. This is around 11:40 a.m., which would translate to 12:40 East Coast time, which is, right around here. So that's this other spike. So anyways, we see some ups and downs with the contracts, but I think the thing that really stands out to me is we see this initial spike, before we see this spike here. And so I feel like it could mean that options are driving this. It may also not be. That's speculation because I don't really, in all honesty, don't know enough about options for that. But looking at this though, with this big candle here, that's at 11:30 East Coast time. If I look at 11:30 over here, that would be, wait a second. Yeah, so that would be like right here when we're seeing this start to move higher. These are 10-minute. Maybe I should do 5-minute candles because I've got 5-minute over here. And so, let's see. Let's think about this. So this surge is before 10. The few candles before 10. And so over here, that would translate to 11. And so 11, 11's over here. Price is still down. So I think that's a really good sign that, options could be driving this price action rather than chasing this price action. We don't want to see calls being bought up here and then price coming down. I feel like that would suggest a lot of weakness, and really like they're not whales or sharks or killer whales, whatever you want to think about them. They're like manatees or fish. They're dumb, doing options in an unintelligent way. Whereas, if they're driving this price action, that's a much better sign. So I feel like that's kind of what we're seeing here. A lot of call action here. But then when, price does come back down in the afternoon, we see a settling out of that. But, the thing that really stands out to me about this is the net premium for the day is $1 million. I don't think we've seen that. You can check the previous videos, but I don't think we've seen $1 million traded, on one day. So I think this looks really good. And the thing that stands out to me that is behind me that I've been wanting to show you guys is that over here, it's not around 50% or 51, whatever, being majority bullish or a little bit bearish. This is more than 3/4 straight up bullish price or contracts traded here. So I think that looks really good. And then if I do scroll down here, the contracts that are most exciting are really the ones coming up this week. These two this week. This next one is for next week. But this is much more bullish. So this could be chasing, though. This could be foolish, since we did see kind of a pullback in the price. And actually, I'm an idiot. I was looking back over here to kind of get an idea of the stock price. That's what we're looking at with the yellow line here. So what we see, that stands out is, price is low here, and then we see a surge in contracts, and then it starts to go up. As it's going up, we see a really big surge. It goes up, there's still more contracts, then it pulls back, there's still more surging, but then it kind of fades. And so I think that this initially looked really good. This kind of looked like chasing, but anyways, $1 million, I think that looks good. I feel pretty good about this. And then now I will switch over to the contract lookup, which is going to show this chart that I could, show over here. Actually, before I want to do that, I forget. I want to look at this over the course of the past 7 days, because that's kind of how I've been comparing it. The first day that this really stood out was on, I believe this was Friday. This is Monday of this week. This was September 30th. We see the surge right here with this candle volume, 25,000, almost 26,000 contracts traded on that, which is a candle premium of more than $250,000. And then these candles over here, this is, a lot of money. This one's almost $500,000 right there. So I think this is looking really, really good. And this is also, while we might have seen a spike in the price here, there's a lot more calls while price is relatively lower than it was here. So I think that looks good. Just volume seems to be picking up, and it's majority on the call side. And then if I look at this data up here, so this up here is just showing for October 3rd. But if I just look at this data, this is going to be showing the data that's on the chart. And so what we could see is the put volume is over 18,000 contracts, whereas the call volume is over 280,000 contracts. So a lot of calls being traded. And here the premium traded with puts is $375,000, whereas the premium traded for calls over the past 7 days is $3.85 million. So much more on the bullish side in my view. So I feel like this all looks pretty good, but maybe this is like dumb money, degens, chasing something when they think it's going to rally around earnings or this week, and maybe it like collapses tomorrow. So who knows? This isn't like super massive orders that are $1 million orders. These are a number of orders that total that. So I think that's something that is important to keep in mind. But anyways, I'm going to look over at this contract. This is the one that I'm holding. And actually, sorry, I keep going back and forth. It's been a long day at work. I'm tired. But what we could see from this is the contract that I am interested in is, let's see, my screen goes black every once in a while. And so that's sometimes why I pause when I speak. And so my contract is for, let's see, November 15th, but it's a $2 strike. And that one's actually not up here, so it's not the hottest contract. It's not the hottest by volume. And so that's fine. I'm fine to not be a hot contract. I just really want to see that the sentiment is overall bullish. And so for, really the top, I'll do this in my head, but I'm just going to be counting. The top 9 contracts are all more bullish sentiment, whereas this one is bearish, which is the one that happens to be the same expiration as my contract, but it's a different strike. So good to keep that in mind. But anyways, I am now going to switch over to the contract that I hold, that I am interested in. That is the $2 strike for November 15th. And unfortunately, a bunch of people sold, or a big order was filled. 411 contracts bid on the bid side, and that's at 10 cents. And it was kind of flat throughout the day, so it really wasn't too exciting. Kind of a disappointing day. Oh, actually, this is yesterday's. It does say October 2nd. I didn't refresh this page, so I am going to refresh it now. And so now we have the new data here. Yes, this looks much cleaner than what I was thinking. So I'm actually going to go back to this full view here, and I'm going to switch from options volume to net premium. And this is showing the 7 days. We can really see this kind of comparison. This is getting me exciting. I am probably going to post this on Twitter because I'm excited about it, or I should say X. It depends on who I'm talking to. I say Twitter or I say X, but I feel like the YouTube community, we understand that it is now X. It's a different platform now. But anyways, just looking at this, we see the price go up. We see the call premium in green here go up a little bit, but nothing stands out too much. Put premium, is more or less flat around this 0 line here. So nothing too exciting there. Price in yellow, up, down, and then it goes up a little bit here. And then look at this. We see this surge in call volume. Look at this net call premium going up. Launch it up, it's staying up. So I think, because that's not specific to the one contract that I am interested in. That is, all contracts. So I think this looks really good. And, we can just see this relative looking in the past. But what I have been familiar with looking at is looking at these on the daily time frame. I see people post these on X a lot. And so what we see, price goes up, these double humps, and we just see call premium rise up, and it stays up. So that means people are buying calls through this, and they're holding them. So call premium is going up. So I think this looks really good, guys. I'm excited about it. So with that being said, I'm going to switch over to my contract, which is kind of boring, but that's just because I'm playing it safe more than a month out. That's how I roll. I like to play it safe. So what we see here, I was a little bit disappointed in the price action today because I had buys. I was at work, so I wasn't paying too close attention. I had a limit buy at 9 cents and a limit buy at 8 cents. Individual contracts because I'm a little fish. None of those got filled. I also had some sell orders placed at, I believe, 20%, 30%, and 40%, which would be 14, 15, and 16 cents because my average is right around 11 cents. And none of my orders were filled. All one contracts, like I said, not a big fish. And so what we see here is the high is average fill 13. Actually, we could see this, looking down here. The high 13 cents, the low 9 cents, but I believe those would be on the bid side because I was wanting to buy at 9 cents. I couldn't get a fill, but if I had wanted to sell, I could have sold at the lowest of 9 cents. But my buy only would have been filled at 10 cents. Whereas the high, I had a limit sell at 14 cents, and that did not get filled. No big deal. But anyways, what we saw from yesterday into today was a decrease in open interest by exactly 285 contracts, going from 17.84 thousand contracts being open, going down to 17,555. And so that's not like a huge change or anything. There's still over 17,500 contracts being held. And while this is perhaps not the sexiest contract, this overall premium in calls is suggesting some good stuff. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, I mean, none of my orders were filled. I'm still holding the same position. If you guys are curious, I can pull it up. This is just the same screenshot from yesterday. As you see here, the date up here is the 2nd. And so yeah, very small position. I was hoping to add another contract at 9 cents. That didn't get filled. But looking at this, I may close out my limit sell orders because I'm not working tomorrow and I can keep an eye on it. But I just feel like this is just like a very clear picture of this likely going higher. I think this just looks really good. So I'm excited about that, and I'm probably not going to ramble anymore. This video is about 21 minutes long, so I might end it there. But I will just pull back to the chart in case anything, does stand out to me. But really, I mean, just zooming in here, we are holding these levels, these wicks down. In my view, we're dip buying opportunities. And I feel like maybe it happens before earnings, or maybe it's waiting to happen after earnings and to be really volatile. But I think that we are set up to take off up to around $2 a share, if not higher. And so I think that the calls that I'm holding, which are only 4 contracts with the 11/15, November 15th expiration, $2 strike. Nothing too crazy, risking $45 there, and I do have 10 shares at 169, really to just facilitate my exit if I do get a limit, or I should say stop loss fill at 160. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be going higher. So yeah, I feel really good about it. And I'm going to bring Ed back for the goodbye. But as always, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks a lot for watching, and looking forward to trading tomorrow, Friday. Take care, you guys.